Omar here, your Edge of South Africa guy, and I am back with another fun-filled video for you. If this video looks like it's deja vu, it's because it is. I think the reception yesterday was horrible, and I really wanted to go ahead and redo this video again with this knife. So we are looking at an automatic knife, not just any automatic knife, one that is actually illegal here in Washington. I'm here at the Ruston Way waterfront, just redoing this video again for you, just because the reception yesterday was crappy, and I'm sure a lot of people complained about it. I know my good buddy Josh complained about it, and I thought I'll just go ahead and do the video again. So we're going to go ahead and do the Kershaw Livewire 9000. There it is. There's a couple of other things on the video that, in this video I'm going to explain because I didn't get to do it yesterday. But we're going to go ahead and see if I can do something a little bit better on this one. Hopefully it'll be a little better. So this is the Kershaw Livewire, and I don't know if you guys are into OTFs. They are illegal in some states, including the state that I'm in, which is Washington State. So, OTFs are just not available everywhere, just for that reason. In fact, here in Washington State, they can only be sold to law enforcement. And it's a crappy thing. It's a law, so what can you do? So let's go ahead and take a quick look at this knife, the Kershaw Livewire. So this is an out-the-front knife, all aluminum scale, very, very light. It's got a nice deep pocket clip, and let's go ahead and pop it open so you guys can check that out. CV20 blade, steel, really sweet. There's the Kai USA label right there. The knife is designed by Matt Diskin. He's actually designed quite a few of Kershaw's launch series lineup. I think he did a couple of them. I can't remember off the bat which one he actually designed, but he designed quite a bit of the launch series. And of course, this knife also is designed by Matt Diskin. So if you've never owned an OTF before, it is a really unique experience in the sense that the deployment action on it is very, very strong. In fact, it's something, as far as an experience of how to deploy these things, if you've never ever deployed one, you really should be aware that the switch on some of these knives are really, really hard. In fact, you actually have to practice and get used to actually opening the knife and then closing it, because it's really, on some of them, the spring is so hard that, it takes a while for you to get used to doing this action over and over and over again. Despite the fact that this knife is probably one of the safest knives you're ever going to be deploying, and I'll explain how in a few seconds here. Right here I've got a ZT0562. I mean, this is a really cool knife. This one's sort of I had this one kind of custom, had custom scales on it, custom screws and everything. So the reason why this knife is actually a lot safer to deploy, despite the ironic fact that it's illegal here in Washington State, is the fact that when you open and close the knife, with the liner lock, basically you disengage the frame lock. You disengage it, and then your hand is here for a split second, and then you close it, right? So you get your hand out of the way just to do that. So for like a second or two, my hand is in between the blade, and I could accidentally get cut, because you have to kind of disengage it this way, which means if you're not paying attention, you could actually cut your finger. But with an OTF, which is in, you know, like 4 states here in the United States, state that I'm in, your hand doesn't get anywhere near the blade, right? Basically, it's just open and then close, but you don't touch the blade at all. I mean, it's just not there. It's kind of, you know, controversial as to whether OTFs are necessary or not. They're actually, you know, obviously they're quite fun to actually own. And I think the sad thing is that, you know, there's, you know, guns are legal here, but, you know, not freaking out the front knives. It's kind of a downer. But in any case, back to the knife. This is very well built. The fact that Kershaw came out with this as opposed to Zero Tolerance, not quite sure why. You would think that, you know, ZT would be the ones to come out with this, but because Kershaw's already done a series of, I believe, is it 13 knives now for the launch series? I think they're looking to open up, you know, their out the front series, I'm guessing, as this being the first one. But also you can go another route. There's a possibility that ZT might come out with a titanium version. Now the price for this knife is incredible. I've seen this knife on other sites. You can get it like for anywhere between like $189.99 on one website over to you can get it up to like $220 on some. So just the price alone is fantastic. The knife is not titanium, it's all aluminum scales. The ergonomics on it are fantastic. Really good ergos on it. It's got these really cool ridges for grip. And what's interesting about this knife is that you can hear the train in the background. What's interesting about this knife is that most of the OTFs are built like this, where it's rectangular. But Kershaw actually built the knife with some sort of ergonomic, you know, build in mind. And it seems to work because your hands seem to know exactly where to go to get the good grip and the good comfort. The ridges on the switch are perfect so that your hand doesn't slip when you pop it open. It's really, really nice. Really, really, you know, good and grippy. I don't have a problem disengaging or having my finger feel like it's going to slip out of it. One thing you really should know about OTFs, the build in general, whether it's a Microtech or a ProTech or you know, any other brand of OTFs, they will have, unfortunately, some blade play. But the blade play on the Kershaw Livewire is very, very minimal. The reason there's blade play on an OTF is because the spring that engages and disengages this knife is not as, you know, it's not very, very strong. It's the only thing that is keeping the knife working. You just have that spring there. So that spring, which allows the action to come out, pop out, in and out as smooth, needs to be loose. And as a result, you may have some blade play. And I have heard, now keep in mind, this is just my own thoughts on this, because I don't have any other experience with any other OTF. I hope to have some more. In fact, I am in the works. I'm definitely going to be picking up a Microtech somewhere down the line. Probably two. I wanted to get like a large Microtech and a small one. So there's a good chance that I might wind up selling this one. I probably won't, but there's probably a good chance. It depends on what the Microtechs, how the Microtechs feel in my hand. But yeah, there's going to be a little bit of blade play in these OTFs just because of the nature of the knife. The only OTF that does not have any blade play at all, believe it or not, the knife actually starts at $1,800, unfortunately, which is the Deadlock by G&G Hawk. Those guys have kind of perfected the OTF to the point where, you know, you won't have that blade play on the knife, but pretty much for all OTFs there'll be a little bit of blade play. But I can tell you from what I've heard and what the other reviews of other people that have done OTF reviews on their channel. They have been telling me that this knife here has the least amount of blade play. So basically, Kershaw came in to the OTF game really late, and probably on purpose. I'm assuming they took a good look at ProTech, they took a good look at Microtech, they took a good look at every other OTF producer out there and decided to take all of those knives, the best of the best features, and try to improve on them so they can come out with their own OTF, and they have definitely done it successfully with this knife here. The OTF, this OTF by Kershaw, the Kershaw Livewire, it's got a fail-safe feature. I'm going to try and see if I can actually engage that without hurting myself. You'll see what happens here when I open and engage and disengage it. And I'm assuming that this fail-safe feature works for all OTFs. So I'm going to try and see if this will work so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So what happens is, with the fail-safe feature, excuse me, with the fail-safe feature, if you try, I'm not going to do it with my hand, but I'm going to do it in a second with, I'm going to try and do it in a second with this. But the fail-safe feature pretty much works this way. If you disengage the knife, okay, and there's something blocking it, I'm not going to do it with my hand, but if you block it and you disengage it, the blade will pop out and stop about halfway, and it'll be nice and it'll be loose. So you'll be a little bit shocked thinking, oh God, I broke the knife. You didn't really break the knife. You just engaged the fail-safe feature. And what happens is the blade gets down to about this bit size, like half. It'll come out and it's nice and loose. Basically, you just pull the blade out and it'll reset itself. So let me show you how that works. I hope I can be able to do it with this. I'm going to try. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try. So, and if it doesn't, forgive me. So here we go. Nope, it didn't work. Try again. Or maybe I could do it with the bag. How about that? Take this out. I'll do it with my bag because the bag is pretty sturdy. So here we go. Nope, try it again. There you go. So there it is. It's kind of glad that worked. So I want you guys to see that. So as you guys can see, the blade is now only halfway and it's loose, right? So that's the fail-safe feature that I'm talking. It looks like it's broken, but it's not, because what you do is you just take the blade, pull it out so you can feel the spring re-engaging itself when you pull it out, and then basically you're back in action. So there is there is safety involved there. So as far as how much pressure it takes for that fail-safe feature to disengage, I'm not sure. So I'm certainly sure, so I'm not going to put my hand in front of it just to do that. But just so you guys know, these things are built fairly safely when you use them. And again, your hand gets nowhere in between the knife and the blade. So, like I said, OTFs are a whole new world of knives. And again, if you don't live in a state where they're legal, you're going to want to be really careful. Quite a few, websites won't even sell them to you. However, I can recommend a couple, just because those two websites, I think, are very well aware of the knife laws in your state, but they'll sell them to you. One of them is American Edge Knives, and actually that's the site that I'm looking to get a couple of Microtechs from, because they've got the two models that I really want, and I don't know if they're going to have them for much longer, but they're pretty common models, so hopefully I'll get lucky and be able to purchase those in the future, hopefully fairly soon. I'm kind of getting the OTF bug all of a sudden. But in any case, American Edge Knives is one of the websites that will sell to you. Another one is PBK Vegas. If you guys want to check those guys out, they also will sell to you. But I think they'll just sell them to you because they don't care. They'll sell them to anybody, which I think is, that's kind of nice. But I mean, again, you live in a state where they're not legal. You can't really carry them. I'm actually risking it just being out here because, if a cop came out here and saw me with this OTF, he would actually just take it away from me. I don't know if he'd arrest me, but he would definitely take the knife away from me just because he's, he's, doesn't want to be bothered, with all that trouble. So let's go ahead and do a couple of size comparisons. I don't have very many knives, but I got two, just so you guys can see where this knife falls in the size position. I'm going to pull out a couple of knives. The first one is one you already know, which is the, and I hope you guys can see it at this angle because I can't really, do much. So this is the zero tolerance 0562. Maybe at an angle you can see it a little bit better, but yeah, basically this knife is 3.5 inch blade. I'm trying to see if I can angle it a little bit. Yeah, there you go. So you guys can see that it's slightly smaller than the 0562. And then I also have this one. You guys might know a little bit better. The Spyderco Techno. So that's half the size. So where it falls, and you guys know this is how I like to do it, is large, medium, and small knives. So the Livewire 9000 actually falls in the, maybe you could do it better at this angle. Yeah, there you go. I think this might be a little better for you. It falls more in the medium size category with, that works, right? There you guys can see. Make it, yeah. Small, medium, and large size category as far as size goes. So it's a nice size, the Kershaw Livewire. So yeah, I mean, definitely if you guys are looking at possibly getting your very first OTF and you live in a state where they are legal, I would highly, highly recommend the Kershaw Livewire. You don't have to take my word for it, though. There are tons of videos on this knife already. Yeah, and they all have given nothing but positive reviews. I mean, it's just really, really nice. You got a nice spear point blade. You've got kind of a nice little swedge here. A lot of the OTFs are double-edged, especially the Microtechs. This one is not double-edged. We've got a spear point blade here. The blade is 20 CV, so this is actually the first. I believe this is actually the first for Kershaw, where they put it out in premium steel. Probably wondering why. Why, again, why didn't ZT put it out? Because ZT would be the one to put this one out in premium steel. But again, because Kershaw has their launch series of 13 knives, I believe it's 13, that this may be the beginning of another, series, possibly of OTFs from, Kershaw, or they may come out with a ZT version of their own OTF. That's what a lot of people are saying. They think this is going to wind up, with a ZT version of the Livewire. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, because ZT hasn't really done anything new, like in, 7 years since we've, in the last 7 years, and zero tolerance has been around since 2012. So, it just seems like they're now pushing their Kershaw line again. So I don't know. I just think maybe Kershaw needs to kind of figure out what they want to do, because people do have a hunger for knives, and they do have a hunger for OTFs, and it would be really great if Zero Tolerance came out with at least a new line, or at least if they, it'd be awesome if they came out with a titanium version of this knife. The Kershaw Livewire is a really nice and light knife. I love the way it feels. I love the way it looks. One of the things I also like, because I'm not a big fan, and I'm going to have to deal with that when I get to getting a couple of microtechs. The glass breaker, I'm not a big glass breaker fan, but I'm kind of happy that they have that. One thing that they do have on this knife, and I didn't touch on that, and I apologize, I'll go ahead and do it right now. They've got a really nice deep pocket clip. This thing will ride nice and deep in your pocket so that no one will be able to, you know, they're very well concealed in the pocket. Again, the ergonomics are just great. It's just a fantastic overall OTF experience, you know what I mean? They just did no wrong on this one. They really hit it out of the ballpark. So fantastic, and congrats to Kershaw for doing that for us. And the fact that it's made in USA, probably the really good reason why a lot of them are selling, you know, so. You know, again, the minimal blade play is expected, and this one's really, really minimal. You know, the markings on this, I don't know if you guys can see it. You know, there's Matt Diskin's name right there, the serial number. And this little logo, I don't know if you guys can see it, but where my finger is, this little round circle logo on it, that's Kershaw's in-house design logo on it. So the design was really well done. They had the, you know, and I'm sure Kershaw had a choice to either put the switch on the side or put it on the front of the knife. In other words, like right here on the flat part of the knife. And I think they decided to go with the side switch, and I think that was a really smart idea to do that, because your hand will naturally gravitate, and it almost seems like most of the strength, because the only way to open and close this knife is with your thumb. You can't do it with your index finger or your middle finger or any other finger. It's just going to be your thumb. And there seems to be a sense of ease when opening and closing it on the side, as opposed to if it were on the front of the knife, like it is with some microtechs. So that was a really smart choice. Yeah. So there you have it. This is the Kershaw Livewire. I hope this video was a little bit better for you guys. Kershaw Livewire 9000. The first out the front Kershaw knife. That's automatic out the front knife, or switchblade type of knife from Kershaw. I'm pretty sure that as a result of this particular knife being such a huge success as we open the summer of 2023, that they'll probably have some more of these out the fronts for people who, you know, are knife enthusiasts like myself. I really do hope they change the law here in Washington State. I mean, and I'm just kind of happy that I finally got a chance to get a hold of one of these, because it's a real shame. I mean, you know, that they don't that these things are not legal here. So I hope this video was a little bit better insight for you than yesterday's video. Yes, I do apologize for that, by the way. I'm kind of hoping that the reception here, as far as this is running on AT&T 5G, so I'm kind of hoping that this is a little bit better video for you. And if not, I'll try and do it a third time, because, you know, this knife is just too important to not show or give my opinion on. So as I close out this video, I always like to tell you guys what's coming up next, and I've got some really killer stuff coming up next as I put away my knife here. I don't want to get in trouble. I have got a South African custom coming, which is long awaited, from Clyde Challenor. Two of them, actually. One of them is my old knife. You guys remember a while back on my channel, I did a video on my Clyde Challenor Viper, and the finish was all worn on it, and you just, because I did something stupid to it. If you guys want to, I'm not going to say that story again, but if you guys want to check out my video, you can see, or you'll hear what I did to my knife. It was really stupid. I'm sure everybody's going to have a good laugh with it. So I've got that Viper coming, and I might as well leave this on camera, right, so you guys can get a Let's view the box, Kershaw Livewire. So I've got that video coming of the Clyde Challenor Viper. Two of them, you'll see. Two Vipers. My old Viper, completely refinished, and there's a surprise with my old Viper. I really can't wait for you guys to see that. And then I've got a brand new Clyde Challenor Viper that I ordered from Clyde Challenor. That's coming next week, and I really can't wait because that one's got another surprise. But if you guys can't wait for that video, you can at least check out my Instagram page. I posted some pictures of what the change was done on my old Viper, and you'll get a good quick sneak peek of the new Viper that I purchased from Clyde Challenor. So be on the lookout for that. You guys are really gonna love checking that out. So I'm actually gonna do another video here in a second because I just realized I never did one on it. So I'll go ahead and do a video on that one. It's gonna be sort of a quick video. I won't have the box or anything, but it's an old knife. But I just didn't get a chance to do the video on that one, so I'll do video on that one right now. So I will see you guys in a couple seconds here with my next knife review, which, by the way, is not an automatic knife. So I will talk to you guys later, and I'll be back in a bit. This is Omar, your Edge of South Africa guy, and in a couple of weeks I'll be bringing you another latest and greatest from South Africa. So again, thank you so much for watching as I close out this video, and I will go ahead and do another one right now. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a good and fantastic Sunday. Is it the day after Father's Day, or is today Father's Day? Day after Father's Day. Again, Kershaw Livewire, definitely pick up one of these if it's legal in your state. I highly recommend it. So do 12 other YouTube channel guys. They've all recommended this knife. An amazing purchase for the price, right around $220. Check it out. For $220, man, it's an amazing knife. I don't know what else I could say. Thank you so much for watching. Omar's Edge of South Africa. I'll see you guys in just a little bit.